Everybody, I'm Skyland Shore, and let's talk about World of Warships. This is a game that a lot of people have been waiting for ever since they even announced a new game from World of Tanks, which is World of Warplanes. We wanted to see warships, right? Now, personally, I jumped onto the bandwagon for World of Tanks really late into the game. I was not a fan of a lot of its mechanics. I didn't quite understand the game, and to be honest, it's really hard to get into. It was really more of a game for fanatics of history, things that you like historical accuracy, and, well, you really like that sort of strategic gameplay. Me, I'm more of a fast-paced shooter kind of guy. I like Trab's Ascent, I like Smite, but still, even saying that, I have to say that this series of games is still really, really good, and I could totally see why it's competitive.
FreeMMOstation.com.
Now, World of Warships, is it going to live up to the legacy? Probably so. Looking at their website, looking at the videos, the very few little details that they're giving out so far, it seems like it will. So, World of Warships is going to be similar to World of Tanks, but at the same time, totally different. So, how do they compare? Well, both are going to be historical accurate. Even if you go to the website right now, you can look at how passionate these people are about their history and how cool it is that they're bringing that into the game. So, both games are going to have that. Next, you are going to be getting the detailed vehicle stats, and of course the upgrades, the modifications. You're getting all that from World of Tanks into your warships. There's actually going to be a little bit more polish on this game than World of Tanks in the previous game, so I think, that's great. I love the whole detailed statistics of the game. I think that really makes the game, and I'm just really glad that's coming back. Next, something that's probably going to be coming back is the controlled RNG mechanics. Now, this is something that completely turned me away from World of Tanks, where it's not completely about aim, it's actually about RNG mechanics and controlling those RNG mechanics. So say you aim at somebody in a tank, you have to wait a couple seconds for the RNG mechanic to sort of zoom in, because it's not all about your aim. You have to actually take into account different sort of mathematical stuffs that's happening in the game. So sometimes you aim at a tank and shoot and it will miss, even though you're spot on aiming. That's not how the game works. The game is about controlling its RNG mechanics, and almost completely with certainty, World of Warships will have that, maybe even to an increased degree, but at the same time, World of Warships is going to be a little bit more RTS based, a little bit more strategic. They're both going to be slow-paced, though. I think World of Warships might potentially be more slow-paced or faster-paced. It really depends on the map design and how much control you have over. Like World of Tanks, you kind of only have a few different kinds of ways to attack somebody. I mean, I guess you can run into them. Or pretty much you just have your cannon. Where World of Warships, you're going to have multiple guns, missiles, different kinds of ships have different things. So depending on the ship that you have, you can do a whole lot more. But overall, they're still going to be slow-paced games. Next, they said that they're going to keep doing their strategic map design, and that's something I was thinking about. World of Warships, how much strategy is going to come with just being on open water? But that's not the case. You're actually going to be fighting probably in different islands, maybe in a bay. There's going to be different environments that are going to come into play with World of Warships, and that's cool that they mentioned that. Next up, just want to say that they're both going to be competitive games. World of Tanks is a competitive game. Definitely there's some money being shelled out for that game, pun intended. And World of Warships will hopefully be the same way. It's probably going to be as fair as possible while still remaining historically accurate. So, really excited to see that. And I'm just excited for World of Warships. So, let's talk about what is just coming in World of Warships now. Multiple entity control. And personally, if you play a aircraft carrier, if you are an aircraft carrier, you can control airplanes. So, aircraft carriers, a multi-role ship that brings RTS-style gameplay, I'm reading right off the website, to the fight. Loaded with 4 styles of aircraft, you have dive bombers, torpedo bombers, scouts, and fighters, and the ability to command multiple squadrons. Carriers can shape the fight from the skies, which is really interesting. So it's almost like if you play a carrier, you're going to be playing like an RTS. Next, the next ship that we have is destroyers. These versatile vessels are perfect for hunting enemy cruisers, spotting them for teammates to target, or blowing them out of the water personally. Additionally, the anti-aircraft guns that line their deck offer another line of defense against high-flying threats. So, destroyers, not only do they have weapons specialized in taking out other carriers or things like that, or other ships, but they also have anti-air. So that kind of goes with the whole ships having multiple guns and doing multiple things, potentially all at the same time. So that could be where the game really has a lot of action in it. Okay, so let's talk about cruisers. They're lightly armored, but swift. Cruisers are the fastest, most maneuverable ship available. This class is a major threat on the open water, dealing damage from either massive cannons or deadly torpedoes. So you're probably going to be going in and out, kind of like an assassin-y sort of build. So, battleships, guys. Battleships. These are the designated heavy hitters of World of Warships. Massive cannons, thick armor, and rows of anti-aircraft artillery make them a deadly triple threat in any battle, though they're probably going to be much slower than cruisers. So there's going to be a bunch of different carriers, and not only that, we're going to have a bunch of different micromanaged, different kind of vehicles as well. We might see submarines, we have aircraft in this game, and who knows what else we're going to do, but overall it's going to be a little bit more RTS-style than World of Tanks, where you're just kind of controlling your own tank, and you can only really do one thing, or just a couple things. In this game, you're going to be doing so much more, though because it is open waters, it might be overall, you're going to have less mobility. You're not going to be able to just hide as easily as World of Tanks, like go behind a tree or something. No, if you're caught out, you're caught out. It's open seas. So you have a lot more action in other aspects than just running away or jumping over hills, stuff like that. Well, so World of Warships, what do I think so far about its presentation? Now, honestly, they're not releasing too much about the game. It's still extremely early. The game is still in alpha, but I think it could be a really great game just so far on their presentation of how, like their history, you know, you can go and watch the videos and how passionate they are about the history, and I really like that. That actually gets me excited. Now, with World of Tanks, it was the same thing, but it's just so cool that they're still passionate about warships, warplanes, war tanks. They're kind of taking this whole scene by storm, and it's just, I don't know, it's fantastic to me. I like how they're trying out different things. It seems like, you know, this game is going to be different than their warplanes game and war tanks game, and I like that they're taking it differently. I mean, you're going to have to if you're going to have warships, and we just haven't seen a game like this on this kind of scale in a long time. This might be a great free-to-play game. I'm almost certain it's going to be greatly popular, and that's really all I have to say about the game. Now, there's a lot of information that has not been released yet, but you can definitely take on us for the responsibility of showing you that news. Yes, so like and subscribe for that. Go check out freemmostation.com as well. And I'm Skyline Shore with Free MMO Station, and I'm telling you to look forward to World of Warships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again later.